Last week, I said I had no idea what Matt Mercer was doing directing Bell's Hells to these underground mines and throwing a big boss that looked completely out of their league. But after watching the episode, I have some ideas, which I'll get to. But first, let's be clear. When I say big boss, I mean an alien queen creature, 60 feet long, along with Lady Emeth Cade, who we know is a pretty tough adversary, not to mention an army of shade creepers. Remember, this is a party of 5th level characters, and honestly, I'd probably think about running away if I was them, but they need to help the Green Seekers, the 2 detectives they joined last week, capture Lady Emeth to clear their names. The task seems impossible. I am so worried that they're going to be headed towards a TPK, that's total party kill. And who am I? I am the BookTube goddess, the #1 drag queen booktuber on YouTube. I review Critical Role in terms of storytelling, so there will be spoilers. We are on episode 16 of campaign 3, and well, Bell's Hells seem outgunned, outclassed, and outmaneuvered. There's a combination of fantastic strategy and a few moments of downright luck that lets the party survive. We pick up in the middle of last week's cliffhanger. Chetney has just seen the Shade Mother, the huge 60-foot long alien queen, and he hears her voice in his head, and she tries to seduce him into joining her. And there's a humorous conversation regarding Chetney's balls.
You can see it kind of glancing around in the dark space, but it's not finding purchase on anything in particular. But a voice does creep into your mind.
Oh.
Where are you?
The urge to poop rises.
Come, prospective child. Welcome. The mouth does not move. The eyes just glance about in the lightless space, but the voice still finds your mind.
That's fucking terrible. No, don't think anything. Think nothing. Balls.
Are you called balls?
Yes. Mighty balls.
Well, mighty balls. Have you come for the anointment?
Are you going to anoint my mighty balls? Oh, come on.
Chetney retreats back to the party and tells them what he saw. And they are determined to try to capture Lady Emeth. Ollie has these 3 magic marbles which will be able to capture Lady Emeth if they can hit her with one. So they only have 3 tries. Ollie keeps 1 marble, then he gives 1 to Chetney and 1 to Imogen. Then they start the battle with a fireball, naturally, and rush in. Right off the bat, it looks like Bell's Hells is going to be overwhelmed, especially since they're attacking the Shade Mother in her home turf in pitch darkness. And most of the party do not have dark vision or can see in the dark. So Fearne starts off things with a really lucky move that probably saves the entire battle. Because they are in the dark and can't see, she decides to cast the daylight spell.
Finishing that. Fearne, you're up.
Okay,
No idea what to do.
it's very dark in here and I can't see. So I am going to cast daylight
Ooh.
on top of Mother.
Okay.
Way
On top of
I
Mother?
would've waited till you.
Yes, so just boosh.
What's the radius on that?
It's 60 feet.
60-foot radius.
Yeah.
Daylight?
Yeah, you can put that like here and light
Light
the
up the
whole
whole
Let's
room
do it.
essentially. Yeah, so 60-foot radius. Yeah, you can do the whole.
Let's do the whole damn room.
It's so
Wow.
bright in here now.
Okay, so whereas the shadows have been consuming the majority of this chamber, those of you without dark vision have been kind of fumbling it through, just trying to focus where you can see the outer rim of soft glows, making out the shapes around you. Suddenly, this bright, piercing light sees the entire chamber.
Sorry, I just can't see.
As it does, you hear Mother screech back, clawing at her face.
Okay.
And all the shade creepers withdrawing from the bright light.
Here we go. Okay.
That was completely intentional.
Like cockroaches when the lights turn on.
First turn.
Yeah, they're not happy.
Nice. What we didn't know, and I don't think the party knew either, was that shade creepers have a huge aversion to sunlight. Daylight puts the shade creepers as well as the Shade Mother and Lady Emeth at disadvantage. Disadvantage, if you don't know, means every time they have to roll a 20-sided die, they have to roll 2 20s and take the lower number. So this is huge, and it changes the entire battle. Suddenly, the party can see, and the Shade Creepers and Lady Emeth and the Shade Queen are having trouble even hitting the party. Oh, speaking of the Shade Mother, she detaches from her huge 60-foot long slime body, and it is revealed that she has these little gem-like contraptions attached to her that make her float, because those gems are broomstone. So now we know what the broomstone was being used for when we first saw it being smuggled back in episode 2. At least one of the reasons. Oh, and can we say how amazing the figurines are that Matt Mercer custom makes? The Shade Mother is pretty awesome. I kind of wish they'd take pictures of all their miniatures in high resolution against a white background. Anyway, Chetney, who is still invisible, sneaks up to Lady Emeth, who is trying to hide from the sunlight, and tries to use a magic marble on her, and Travis rolls a natural 20.
Shit, I saw her run into cover. With my 25 feet of movement, does it look like I could cover the ground and kind of hurdle up on top of this rock and get up on her rear?
Up here, you mean? Or
To Lady Emoth's position.
right over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that one.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, you can get up on here if you want to.
Okay. I'm gonna take the little bead.
Mm-hmm.
Say, tag, you're it! And hit her with it.
Okay, you are invisible, so you have advantage.
Yes.
Ooh. Okay. Is it an attack?
It is,
attack roll?
it is an attack roll. So you should go ahead and roll, add your proficiency bonus and your strength modifier or
do it.
dexterity
You got
modifier,
this,
whichever
Janet.
you prefer.
I had
You said
guided
strength
him.
or dexterity, you said?
Guidance is for ability checks, it is not for attack rolls.
Strength.
But good looking out.
Get that bliss going. Get that bliss.
Natural 20.
Oh, shit! Yes, okay.
So 26. Plus strength, plus proficiency bonus.
I've been rolling like shit for fucking
Okay.
weeks.
Diamond dust.
So, you see her there behind, kind of like hit the side of the rock just as you dart around and visibly go rushing up and like leap in the air through this small section of rock where it opens up to where she's now kind of like rubbing her eyes and she spins just in time to hear the sound of you impact the stone as you land, not seeing where you are and looking above where your head is as you just poof, punch the bead right into her gut.
Nice.
And then suddenly there's this weird sucking sound. And this sudden flash of energy, and you watch as this kind of amberish orb surrounds her like a bubble. And she's now
Nice.
scratching at it, making no sound and no impact on it. So where Lady Emoth was, there is now this amber orb.
Nice.
Cool, cool.
That's another huge piece of luck. Lady Emeth is surrounded by this globe which she cannot escape from. It brought to mind for me the security balloons from the Prisoner series from the 60s, which if you know what I'm talking about, probably means you're pretty old. So in the first round, they put all their enemies at disadvantage with Fearne's daylight, and they have captured Lady Emeth. The tables have turned. Now their mission, which looked almost hopeless to begin with, now seems like they have a chance of succeeding. All they have to do is roll Lady Emeth out in her bubble and escape. The Shade Creepers themselves are pretty useless in daylight, but even with disadvantage, the Shade Mother is pretty powerful. She is a legendary creature with lair actions as well as legendary resistances and attacks, and it looks like getting out of the tunnels with Lady Emeth is going to be really hard, if not impossible, especially after FCG pulls the lever on one of these mysterious machines that had a big drill on it, and the drill slammed into the cavern and into a pillar, which fell over and trapped Chetney underneath some falling rocks.
I don't know what to do.
Big machine, big machine.
Yeah, I know. I want to mess with it, but I don't want to be a bad cleric.
Oh, right, that part.
I'm gonna go over to the machine. What do I see?
So move over to the machine. You have to kind of push past
Excuse me. Pardon me. Just coming through.
Shade Creepers. You kind of coast by on your wheel. Over to the front, and you can see this large contraption that has like a looks to be like a strange wheel mechanism in the front, and a large lever on it, and looks to be some sort of like an input funnel.
I mean, I gotta pull the lever,
You
right?
gotta pull the lever.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, never mind.
I'll reach to pull the lever, realize it's my saw blade hand, and go with the other one, and yank it.
You hear the sound, and that little funnel device, suddenly this black smoke begins to emit from it. Similar to the smoke you see at various exhaustion points across the smolder spire. As it does, you see it begin to shift to life. And what you didn't see on the other opposite side of this machine is part of it was embedded in this pillar, as a massive auger begins to spin, digging and drilling into the central pillar. As it does, the rock pillar in the center collapses
Oh my God.
and tumbles over this way.
She's fine.
She's flying, but on the other side,
Oh no.
Oh no!
Gonna block us in. Who is there? Who's over there?
Oh no!
Rock on rock.
Oh,
I'm gonna need Chetney to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no! Okay. I'm
That
good.
was
I'm happy.
amazing.
I'm
and
here.
hopefully fine.
14.
As it tumbles over and the machine begins to just grind into it, it's just pushing into it, trying to drill forward. Chetney, you won. You take that would be 18 points of bludgeoning damage. Which you take half of because of your
non-magical.
hybrid form.
Yeah. That wolf hide, baby.
Yep. But you are currently restrained
9 points.
beneath a bunch of rock and stone.
didn't kill any of the bad guys.
Oh yeah, the other shade,
Oh, okay.
the other shade's creeper is done, and this area here is just bolted rubble, which kind of closes you in on that end.
Yeah.
Things look impossible, that is, until Orym makes one of the most brilliant strategic moves in melee combat that we've seen ever. Using the magic rope he acquired a few episodes back, he ties one end to the stinger of the Shade Mother and drops the other end into the churning, drilling machine.
Orym, you're up.
Can I ask a question? The drill that's going, there's a big wheel on the side. Is that spinning rapidly or not at all?
It's still grinding. It's still moving. It looks like it's when everything fell, it kind of wedged itself in, but there's nobody actively manning it, so it's just still running off of its baseline drilling mechanism. So it's kind of like grinding. You can hear like the auger shifting and.
Fuck it, I'm gonna try it anyway. I pull a rope out and go, I just bought this, and then I'm gonna run. I'm gonna spring
idea, Orym.
up on the rock and then spring up onto the drill and then leap 10 feet in the air to get by her stinger, tie her up. And I command the rope to tie her stinger.
Ooh. Okay. The rope
Yeah.
wraps around. Let me see if she can possibly shake it. Nope, not with a natural 3.
Yeah?
So as you leap in the air, at the impact, you can see kind of her glance over her shoulder, and as you toss the rope up and it attempts to wrap around, the back of her tail begins to retract. You see the stinger trying to pull in, but the rope catches into its barbs and is affixed to it.
And I land down on the drill and go, so sad about this. And I drop the end into the machinery.
Like a tire to grind.
Suddenly, the rope begins to be pulled by the internal gears and mechanisms rapidly, and you watch as she, kind of not really noticing and caring, looks back towards the rest before, and you watch her being yanked back towards you.
Yeah.
If I have any movement, I will dive to the side, but I might not. That was.
I need you to make a dexterity save. This is rapid.
That is pretty good. That's a 17.
17. So you manage to dodge out of the way. You only take from the impact 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you dive off to try and catch your friends on that side. It will, as part of this, because you roll high enough, you do not fall prone at all. You catch yourself, it hurts your shins a little bit, but you watch as the tail is now pulled into the machine, and she is currently like screeching between the combination of sunlight still blaring down upon her and the tail being pulled into the machinery.
So cool.
That is so cool!
It's fucking rad.
But I just bought the rope.
Worth every penny.
That is worth it.
We can get you another one.
Yeah.
Mitten box.
Amazing.
Wow.
Oh, so good.
Alrighty.
That's the end of my turn.
That's your turn, Orym.
That was so cool.
That was fucking awesome.
The Shade Mother, the big boss, gets her tail ground into the drilling machine, making all the shade creepers go crazy and making her completely immobile. Bell's Hells then is able to roll Lady Emeth in her bubble out of the cavern and they escape the mines. Wow, this was one of the best battles ever that I've seen in Critical Role. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. While you're there, don't forget to give this video a like and please subscribe to my channel for more Critical Role reviews. The episode ends with a denouement or falling action where the Green Seekers take Lady Emeth into custody for questioning. This will turn the heat up on the Treshy house, and we find out that the Green Seekers are employed by one of the Treshy's rivals, Lady Sishandri of the Mahan house, and Bell's Hells convinces the Green Seekers into making them deputies so they can get these little patches, which was kind of cute. Anyway, the party goes to rest for the night. There's a brief comedy relief of Chetney and Fearne arranging a romantic rendezvous, which never actually happens because Chetney sleeps through the designated time. Personally, I'm not crazy about character sexcapades between party members, but I know some people find it amusing. Anyway, the cliffhanger we get this week is Imogen, having picked up one of the crystals from the mysterious machines back in the cavern, trying to figure out what it is. She goes into a deep meditation and uses her psychic powers to link to it. It's similar to the crystals they saw in the Nightmare King's laboratory, and she feels twisting fey magic roiling within it. Then she falls asleep holding it, feeling herself getting drawn in.
Going to sleep?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I will.
Do we achieve a long rest? Oh.
Okay. What's one last thing?
Well, let's say I'm sorry. I'm gonna just go into it's just a room with just me and Laudna and Fearne in it, right?
You and Laudna, Fearne, and Orym, who you invited to come
Orym,
stay with you.
yes.
Yeah.
All right.
What are you doing?
I'm just gonna go into a corner and sit with the stone in front of me, and I'm just gonna just try to open up my mind to it.
Oh boy.
And take my mind shield down and like
I don't
just
want to
see.
have to kill you.
Okay.
I have to.
Oh no.
You close your eyes and just kind of let your consciousness expand a bit towards this strange stone. Go ahead and roll a d20 and add your charisma modifier for me, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
It's normal.
Nine.
Okay. You feel yourself being drawn towards it. And that odd familiarity begins to catch your mind a bit. You remember being the one that was the closest to where this was found. The device, the structure, the design of it. It was familiar. It felt like other contraptions you had encountered somewhat recently within a dark laboratory. You see flashes of those same long ears, those dark black-green eyes of the Nightmare King. You sense strange, twisting fey magic within this. Uncertain if it's ancient or fresh, constructed or recovered. But there's something about it that just takes and changes. Transmutive. Better, different. Alluring. Warm. Comforting, welcoming. And slowly you drift into sleep, cradling it to you. Losing yourself to the warmth and the draw. And that's where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's episode.
Just till tomorrow morning, then I could have looked at it.
So I initially thought the Shade Mother was some ultimate big boss, but I'm revising my thoughts after seeing the episode. She's obviously responsible for the mutated Shade Creepers, as well as mutating Lady Emeth and Duger, and probably others. But since she has also obviously been transformed, I think we can guess she is a result of experiments by the Nightmare King and or the Treshies or whoever is ultimately behind all this chaos. My guess is the Shade Creepers are born from these Shade Mothers, and one of the mothers was captured and turned into this enormous mutation, which gives birth to mutated Shade Creepers and has the ability to cocoon humanoids and to transform them into Lovecraftian horrors. Which brings about a bit of a quandary now in terms of story. It seems like we should be heading to the Heartmoor, but with all that has just happened, I am caring less and less about the Heartmoor and want the party to stick around and find out what is discovered from questioning Lady Emeth and what's going to happen to the Treshies. Something really big is going down in Drusar, and I really want Bell's Hells to stick around so we can see what is happening. I think there's a good chance that Heartmoor may be delayed next episode so we can find out what happens, especially since Imogen is apparently getting pulled into this dark fey crystal energy or whatever it is. Or we may get some resolution to the whole Lady Emeth storyline in the first half of next week, and then the party is impelled to go to Heartmoor for whatever reason. Oh, and next week is Critical Role's 7-year anniversary, which will be live cast in theaters, which is really exciting. But maybe that also means that something big is being planned. I don't know. If you have some thoughts, let me know in the comments. If you haven't seen my recap and review last week, you can find that video right here. Until we meet again, may all the books you read and the campaigns you play in be blessed.